Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul and Pepper's Legs. I am Maui Paul, and those are Pepper's Legs. It is wonderful to see you guys here today. Thank you so much for being here. Those are her arms, too. I'm going to cover her up with a card. The end.
Oh,
Oh, we've erased Pepper. Sorry, Pepper. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. It is a pleasure to continue to be able to do these things. Happy Thursday, or I'm sorry, Wednesday to you. We're here today to say some nice things about ourselves. Pepper has still continued to has still continued to create some cards for us, and so what we're going to do today, same thing we did yesterday. I'm going to pull the card that Pepper has selected and created for us this week. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and we are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we do this, we are building into our own lives. We are changing up our own experiences, and we are providing ourselves with the tools that we need in order to continue to live life to its fullest. So let's have some fun. Let's pull a card off the top of the deck and say that today, I am colorful. I am colorful. I cultivate beauty wherever I go. So I am colorful. I cultivate beauty wherever I go. Are you colorful? You are colorful. You cultivate beauty wherever you go. I'm going to write that down in the comments, and I encourage you to do the same thing. Why? That I am colorful. I cultivate beauty wherever I go. And so do you. I mean, and just, good morning to all the beautiful, beautiful people who are here, all the beautiful, colorful people who are here. Thanks so much for being here, Susan. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Lauren, coming in from Daytona Beach. Dan's coming in from Buford. Good morning, Jan, coming from another glorious sunrise over the Gulf of Mexico. You are winning, Jan. What a great, beautiful life you're living. Good morning, Shauna. And Tony. Tony's coming in from Florida. She's wishing us all a wonderful day. And I wish you a wonderful day as well. Let's see here. All right. So I think that's everybody who is around right now. I've written that down in the comments that I am colorful and that I cultivate beauty wherever I go. And I think that's a very important thing to do. In fact, I remember that when I lived in Maui, I actually sold art for a living. And for the most part, I sold the pretty high end stuff, Picasso and Chagall and Dürer, a lot of Dali. I sold a lot of Dalis when I was out there. And I remember that because I sold art, I actually ran into a lot of artists. And one day, this artist came in to just kind of enjoy the art, because artists would come in to enjoy the art. Because I mean, the gallery that I worked in was essentially a museum. And I remember that we got to talking, and I said, well, how is it that you got into being an artist? What is it that, because being an artist is an unusual career choice. Being a successful artist, gosh, that's a much more rare thing to have happen. And I said, so what was it that convinced you that this was what you wanted to do with your life? And she said, well, I decided early on in my life that wherever I went, I was going to make everything around me more beautiful. I was going to cultivate some beauty. And I remember that really struck with me. And I said, so what's your medium? And she's like, well, I have lots of different mediums. She's like, but mainly I if I see something that could be more beautiful, I make it more beautiful, and then people want to buy it. And I was like, what a wonderful way of having a career. What a wonderful way of doing life. And I realized, like, whether on that day, that whether I was an artist or not, whether I considered myself to be an artist or not, that I could do that too. That I could cultivate beauty wherever I went. And so from that day on, I decided that was going to be one of my, one of the things that I did. I didn't need to get paid for it. I didn't need to, I didn't need to make a career out of it. But I found that whatever career that I've ever made, if I cultivate beauty wherever I go, then at the very least, I'm always surrounded by beautiful things. And so to the best of my ability, I've just tried to be an encouraging force for the people around me everywhere that I go, for the rest of my life. And I intend to continue doing that. The wake up call is one manifestation of that. Being nice to the cashier at Kroger is another manifestation of that. And so I am colorful. I cultivate beauty wherever I go. I dress colorfully. I give everybody a smile. When I see something that is out of order, I put it in order. When I see something that could have more color to it, I add more color to it. When I see things that could be arranged better or arranged more logically, I do that. And sometimes I get paid for doing this, as in when I create marketing systems for people. And sometimes I don't get paid for this, as in when I just face the merchandise at the store because I'm standing in front of it and it looks like crap. But the fact is that that I do it as a lifestyle choice. If I'm standing around doing nothing, I could be standing around making the world a better place, and so I do that. I choose to do that. And sometimes it manifests in physical stuff, but a lot of times it just manifests in helping the people around me to realize or recognize the beauty that is all around us, or just complimenting people and increasing the beauty that's inside of their psyche. Boy, you'd be amazed at how powerful a simple compliment can be. And so I am colorful today. You are colorful as well. We cultivate beauty wherever we go. And I like the picture that Pepper chose. Of course, we're still on the bread theme. I don't like the olives on that bread. I recognize it's colorful. I probably wouldn't want to eat that bread with them olives on there. No, thank you. But but the fact is that that I do like the picture. There's a lot of different colors on that picture, and so it is in our lives, and we have the ability, as we are going through our lives, to make the lives of the people around us better. And when we do that, we get to be blessed with a life that is full of people whose lives are better all around us. And it can be a totally altruistic thing. Oftentimes when I'm making something more colorful around me, when I'm cultivating beauty around me somewhere, I'm not doing it because I'm getting paid for it or because I expect I'm going to get something for it. I'm doing it because it makes the world that much of a better place, and then I get to live in that world that's that much of a better place. And I feel like if we all did this, if all of us got up in the morning and said, I'm going to make the world a better place just because I'm in it today, that the world would become a rapidly better place, and that we would all get to share that experience. Because if you guys have ever been to an Awesome Saturday service, one of my core spiritual beliefs is that that we are transcendent to collective consciousness. That the consciousness that expresses through me and the consciousness that expresses through you is the same consciousness. And so why wouldn't I want to make another part of my consciousness better? Why wouldn't I want to improve the experience of the people around me? Because in the end, it also improves my own experience. And why wouldn't I want to make things a little bit more clean, a little bit more organized, just a little bit better? And it doesn't take a lot. It's just a little bit. I think that as adults, when we start to envision or dream up really big projects, we get locked into this idea that if we can't make a huge difference, or if we can't make a complete difference, why bother? There's this insidious lie that a lot of adults believe that, if you can't do a good job, don't do a job at all. But a lot of times we can't do a complete job. We can only do a partial job, given the time limits, the time constraints. And it's not because we're incapable. It's because the job is really, really big. And so I think that when I release myself from the idea that I have to make it perfect all in one go right off the bat, it helps me to be encouraged to actually be willing to do the work, whatever that work may be, and to do it proactively. And so I am colorful today, and I cultivate beauty wherever I go. And today I have no need to leave the house. I'll probably cruise around the resort a little bit, but that's about it. I'm not going to be exiting the gates today. I'm not going to be going anywhere. But everywhere that I go in the house, I will be cultivating some beauty. And if I'm out and about and I see something that isn't as I'd prefer it to be, I'm just going to make it closer to what I prefer it to be. And I'm not going to sweat whether or not I'm being compensated for that. I'm not going to sweat that. That's small stuff. Instead, I'm going to recognize that if it can be 1% better, and I can make it 1% better every single time that I walk past it, that eventually it's going to be significantly better. So I am colorful today. You are colorful too, and we cultivate beauty wherever we go. So I encourage you to find something today. If you walk past something and you're like, wow, that's ugly, instead of commenting about how ugly it is, simply cultivate some beauty there and make whatever changes that you think are necessary in order to, yeah, in order to make it just a little bit better looking. Or if you pass by somebody today, or if you come into contact with somebody today, and you feel, and it just seems like they're downtrodden, it seems like life is getting to them, because life gets to all of us sometimes. And you can offer them a word of encouragement, you can offer them a hug, you can offer them a shoulder to cry on, if you can offer them just an ear that listens to them for just that one moment, that one fleeting moment of humanity to humanity, then in that way you're cultivating beauty not just in your soul but also in their soul, and making the world a better place, because that person who has been set better because you were in their life will then be able to go and have a better experience as they are, with all the other people that surround them, and it ultimately has a tremendous ripple effect. The love that we share in this world is the only eternal thing that we ever touch in this world. Everything else is passing. Everything that we have was at one point or another given to us from somebody. Perhaps we traded it for something, but ultimately somebody else gave it to us. And everything that we create in this world will eventually go to somebody else who did not work to earn it or deserve it. And so, what is it that we have that's really eternal? And the answer is the love that we share. And so, let's cultivate that beauty where we go today, and let's share that love. And let's understand also that we're coming up on the cusp of a major holiday, and the fact is that people are stressed out because of the expectations they've placed on themselves. And if we can just go ahead and give the folks around us some grace, and give ourselves some grace if we notice that we are stressed out because of expectations that we've placed upon ourselves, it's going to ultimately help us to live better lives and make this world a better place. And if we make this world a better place just by being in it, then we have lived in accordance with our highest potential. So let's reach for that highest potential today by cultivating some beauty wherever we go, and in cultivating some beauty in the hearts of everybody who we meet, and then in doing so, we will make the world an awesome spot. All right, so I will talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll come up with another one of these, and continuing on with the bread theme. I'm sure that Pepper has more of these cards lined up for me. So I want to once again shout out to Pepper's legs and for her hands and her feet for being so wonderfully service oriented, and helping this broadcast be more dynamic. So I love you. I appreciate you. I think you're amazing. This is your daily reminder. You got this. You can do it. It doesn't matter what problems that you have in your life, you're going to resolve them, and that the solutions will present themselves, and that ultimately everything is going to work out because everything already has. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, I love you. I appreciate you. Aloha from paradise.